Hey y'all, welcome back to the Lavender Book Company. I'm Kat and it's Farmers Market Day. So if you guys have been following me for any amount of time, you would know that I've been planning on some farmers markets. So right now I'm only planning on doing like 3 dates. But then if it goes well, I'm gonna add on some more dates. The person who runs the farmers market says that's totally fine, just you can add on more dates and stuff like that. So I just kind of wanted to like vlog the experience because I thought it'd be really fun and be fun to like have that to look back on. First, if you're new here, my name is Kat. I'm a children's book author and illustrator, and I'm passionate about bringing classic feeling literature to the modern child. So here I'm just giving you a behind the scenes on children's books, creating them, selling them, having a small business, and everything kind of in that sphere. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely subscribe. I'd love to have you around. Let's go ahead and get into the vlog. So I'm having to get kind of creative on the phone stands and stuff today because I'm upstairs and I did not feel like running all the way back downstairs. So you're currently sitting in my cabinet. So hope it's cozy and comfy in there. Other than that, today has been quite a wild day. I will not lie. It has been a very long day with the kids, but I'm ready to boot and rally for the farmer's market. And so I kind of wanted to go over what I'm bringing with me. So then that way, if you're planning on going to one, what you want to bring. And then at the very end of all of this, and after the farmer's market's over, I will find time to like sit down and kind of go over what it was like, what I would recommend, what I wouldn't recommend, what I'm going to change for the next time, and all that kind of fun jazz. So this is what I'm bringing. I have kind of compiled everything that I've wanted to bring based off of just myself and then also what other people have said online. I've kind of taken in some advice from different areas. So this is definitely what I would recommend. So I'm going to go through all that. In this first box is everything here that I need to like wrap up and package people's orders. So obviously I don't have any like bubble mailers or anything like that. So I just bought these. I decided to go with some clear bags. My kids are screaming. I decided to go with clear bags for the books because in that way, when they're walking around, people can see the book. And I thought that would be kind of almost like easy marketing. So I got this size big enough to fit the book. And then I did get a smaller size down here just in case people just want some bookmarks or something smaller. I brought a couple of permanent markers just in case. I got some stickers for the tissue paper to wrap up all of the bookmarks in. So I just brought all that. So I did decide to print off these price cards. So then that way I can have the prices out just in case there's some people who don't really want to ask. So everything will be out. I'm hoping it won't be super windy today, but I thought that was a really cute idea. I saw that idea from someone else who had done a farmer's market. So I just printed those off. I just made them on Canva, so that was super easy. In here, I have all my thank you cards. So I'm just gonna slip this into everyone's bags. And the reason I am is because I'll show you the little social media sign that I created, but I also wanted to give this to them. So then that way they have like all my handles and whatnot. So then that way, if they want to find me on any of my social medias afterward, they're more than welcome to. And then down in here, I have all the freebie lavender stickers. So every order will get one of these for free. So I just love these. I think they're so cute. I am bringing 2 boxes of books. I plan on leaving one in the car. I just wanted to bring a backup just in case. I would be very, very, very shocked if I sold through an entire box tonight. I don't anticipate me doing that, but I like to just be safe than sorry. And I don't want to be like scrambling to have my husband have to come all the way home to get more books. So we're just bringing those. And I did decide on just bringing books that are already autographed. It just, time got away from me. My life has been so busy. So I just decided to bring these just already done so that I don't have to worry about them. And then I do have the permanent markers just in case people want me to write a special message inside their book. So I did have that. And then in this last box here, so I have all of the chain bookmarks hung up. These ones, I have each style hung up here. And then I have all the extras wrapped in this tissue paper just to keep them like protected. I have the ribbon bookmarks up here. And I also have more of these that I'm bringing as well. I turn the light on so you can see a little bit better. So then I did bring a book with me so I can have kind of the chain bookmarks and the ribbon bookmarks on display so that way people can see them. Here are the tablecloth covers. We already have the canopy and the sign in the car. So that's already taken care of. This little basket is for the recipe cards, which they're all just right down in there. They're like already bundled and whatnot, ready to go. These are, oh, it wants to focus on me. These are all the coloring book pages for the kids. So we also have a little picnic table in the back of the car we're gonna bring. some fresh crayons, so then that way the kids can play with those. And then I do have a few little fake plants down there just on the table. I didn't want anything too cluttery, but I did want just like a little something. I thought that'd be really nice. Tap and chip card swiper for like my Shopify POS terminal. So I have my iPad all charged. I'm gonna use my phone as a hotspot, and then that way I'll have this so I don't have to manually enter in everyone's cards. And then I do have this cash box. It's full of cash, ready to go. It's like a balanced till. So this one's ready to go. My husband's gonna be in charge of this. And then the only thing I have left to do are just a few little random little things. Only things left that I want to do, I'm just gonna pack up like a cooler full of snacks for the kids. I'm hoping they can pull it together today. Today's been a very long day. I'm really hoping they can just have fun today and just kind of entertain themselves while my husband's there. And I hope it goes very smoothly because today has been a very long day. So other than that, so we have about an hour before we're gonna head out, and then we'll get all set up. And so I'll meet you guys back over at the farmer's market. It's gonna be so much fun. Okay, I finally have a few minutes. The kids just barely went down for quiet time. It's been a day, so we're gonna see if we can just bust this out. This is like the first chance I've had to like sit down and like talk about the farmer's market and how I thought it went and things like that. So I'm just gonna share my own kind of impressions about it. Like, is it even worth your time? And then I decided I'm just gonna lump in like the do's and don'ts into this video, just make it a lot easier. But that being said, overall, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was so much fun. It was really fun to be able to connect with people like in person. I could see all of their reactions in person, and it was all like very genuine, like organic, like comments and reactions, and it just like really fueled my fire overall. And I really feel like people are really receptive to the whole concept of the Lavender Book Company, especially when I explained how, you know, I'm really inspired by the classics, and that's kind of the main direction for like the company and all of my books that I'm going to produce. People like absolutely loved that whole idea, and they loved flipping through like the Theodore and James book, and several people said it reminded them of Peter Rabbit, which of course just filled my heart. I was so excited about that. And a lot of compliments on the book. People were really excited about the book, and they really liked the way it looked. And actually, one of the biggest sellers of the day was my bookmarks, and which I kind of anticipated happening because I love the bookmarks that I made. Okay, they're all handmade. I like put them all together, you know, but I kind of figured that people would have to see it in person and actually like feel them and touch them in person, so they know they're not just getting like plastic beads and things like that. So because people really loved when I explained, you know, how I came to the certain length that I did, how they're all glass beads. I did them all by hand. So people really, really loved them and thought they were really cute. So I was super excited about that. I was very pleasantly surprised. So I will continue to take those back with me to the other farmers markets. Now, once I sell through the ones I have, I would like to do another collection, but like one thing at a time. I'm not wanting to make any more until I really kind of get either more feedback or kind of what people are wanting and whatnot. So I'm going to kind of take that as I go. But overall, people really liked the ribbon ones and the chain ones. So I was really excited about that. And overall, I feel like it was really worth my time. Like sales wise, it was really worth it. Setup was like way easier than I anticipated. We went there like super early because it was like our first time doing this. So we didn't want to be like super stressed out. And so thankfully it didn't really take us that long. It probably took us like a half hour to 45 minutes to set up. And granted, we didn't have like tons of products. Overall, it didn't really take us that long. So that was really nice. Okay, so as for the do's and don'ts. So for the do's list, which is much longer than the don'ts list. But for the do's list, I would definitely say get a sign. I got my sign. You can see it hanging like on the back side of the canopy. I got that sign from Vistaprint. I paid a little bit extra to have like the rivets put in, and then I paid a little bit more to have it's like a special material or like a finish on it that it's like designed to be outside so it won't crack or fade. Because for me, I was like, well, if I'm spending $50 on this sign, I don't want it to like crack and fade and then I can't use it, and then I have to spend another $50 to get a new one. So for me, I just paid the little extra. I think it was like $5 or $10 to get the outdoorsy material, I guess you would say. So I would definitely recommend them. I was super impressed with it. It came out so good. I'll put my reaction video in here too, because it's just, I was like so genuinely impressed with that sign. I was so excited about that. Okay, I'm so excited for this. I wanted to show everybody this when it came in. So this is for my farmer's market. Oh, I hope this looks good. I really hope this looks good. It looks so good. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. So this is gonna be for my like canopy. It's gonna hang up from the canopy. Oh my gosh, this looks so good. I'm like so pumped about it. I got this from Vistaprint and I'm like so blown away. Oh my gosh. So I did get their largest size. So you can kind of keep that in mind while looking at like my video and stuff. It just looks more professional and it's not like a huge cost. And that's something that you can use like several times over. Something else that I did that I was super glad about. So here in Utah, it can get windy very quickly and it can kind of change on a dime without you realizing it. And then the wind can also die off really quickly without like any warning. So I did get certain tablecloths. I got the stretchy ones that like come over the legs, and I am so glad I did that. Because I kind of watched other people's booths, and when the wind started kind of picking up, I mean, not only were things like kind of falling over on the tables, but like tablecloths were kind of flying up, and really glad I did that. I did also make like price cards, and I had the price cards. I wanted them up, but just because of the wind, I had to kind of like tuck them underneath the products. You can probably see it in the video. I was super glad that I did that. Everything was very clear. All the prices were out. So I would definitely recommend doing that. Someone recommended to me to have flowers on the table. So I did have some fake flowers. It was just like 2 little things of flowers. So it was nothing crazy, but I think it did really make it kind of just tied everything together. And I did have a few people tell me that they really liked my setup and they thought it was really cute. And it just looked really professional and put together. So that made me feel really good. I was really excited about that. And I honestly didn't spend too much money on like putting it all together. So any touches you can put on it to just make a little extra special, I would definitely do that. I also had a sign on the table that had like my social media handles on it. And then I just put it like in a picture frame. It was like the cheapest picture frame from Walmart that I could find. And it just had all my handles on it. I had a few people like take pictures of that, and then they would kind of like, and they followed me later, like on social media. And then I had other people where I did end up bringing like my thank you cards that I normally put into orders. I brought those with me so I could put them in people's like order bags. But I did have a few people like ask if I did have like a card or some way to contact me. I did give them those cards and it had all my like contact stuff on there. So I would definitely recommend bringing something like that. So then that way, if people want to follow me on social media or reach out to you for a future order, and that way you can quickly give them something like that and it's not like kind of chaotic. I spent the best money that I did spend though on this whole farmer's market was on the tap and ship for cards. It's not very expensive at all. So my whole website is done through Shopify. And so Shopify has their own like tap and ship that just like syncs right up with their app, like the POS app. And it was so easy to set up. It was so awesome. It wasn't expensive at all. I think it was like 50 or 60 bucks, and it was the best. It was absolutely the best, because if you don't have that, if you don't have some way to like swipe a card or tap or anything, then you have to manually put in everything. And just when you get a few people kind of around your table, you're wanting to kind of move things along like as efficiently and smoothly as possible, so then you can get to everyone, and that way you can kind of chat with others. So I would definitely recommend that. It's totally worth it. I would definitely buy it again. Okay, so for the don'ts. So I think I've about covered it for the do's. Trying to think. I think that's pretty much it for the do's. Okay, so for the don'ts. So for the fun ones, right? Okay. So for the don'ts, one of the biggest things that I would say, now it depends on like why you're at the farmer's market. It depends on, just basically why you're there. Now I was there to like represent my brand, like represent my company, what I'm wanting to do. I would personally suggest, this may irritate some, I would personally suggest not sitting down while people come up to your table. Now, it's one thing to have chairs there if there's a lull and there's like no one walking around and you want to just sit down for a minute, that's totally fine. If anything, I would say when people start walking up to you, stand up and be present and really be ready to engage with people, because you're wanting people to like look at your products and things, and you're ultimately selling yourself. Like when it comes to small business, you're really selling yourself, and people really buy into the person, and they want to know that they're supporting someone who's like really invested in everything. And so I would really say, if you can avoid sitting down, I just wouldn't even sit down. And I did it. I kind of sat down at the very beginning. After we set up, I did sit down for a while because it was a while before the farmer's market started. But then once people started showing up and things were rolling, I like never sat down the rest of the night. So I was standing up from about 5 o'clock to 9. And I was just, and even if there was a lull, I was just standing and I was trying to be present. I was barely on my phone. I took like 2 quick videos like when we first set up, and then that was it. And then I sent off like a few quick texts to my husband, and that was pretty much it. Something else I would say is don't just sit in your own booth if possible. So what I mean by that is, if you can get up and network around with the other people there, I would definitely do it. And that's something, because we initially brought my kids and then the kids were getting really restless, so then they left. Well, so because my husband was gone, I didn't want to leave all my stuff out like by itself. I didn't want to leave the cash box by itself. So I wasn't able to like actually walk to other people's booths because I was like standing guard of my own stuff. So if you have someone with you who can kind of just watch your stuff and can kind of make sales while you're gone, I would definitely take a little bit of time and mingle around with the other people. Because if you're new to the farmer's market community, I guess, there's other people there who are very well seasoned, who may have some really good suggestions for you. I had a few people who, they do a lot of farmers markets. They're jumping around all the time. And she was telling me of a few that she was like, oh, you need to go up here next year because you'd make a freaking killing next year. So, and I had no idea that they even did a farmer's market. So I was super grateful that there were so many people who were nice enough to share a lot of advice. And so I was super excited about that. So I've already planned on doing that. Here's another don't miss out on the application deadlines. So this is something that I've had to figure out, where I thought with farmers markets, you would kind of just, like, you could kind of sign up closer to the time of the farmers market and it was all kind of very last minute kind of thing. I thought that's kind of how it went. No. Okay. Most farmers markets, you have to put in like an application, and depending on the popularity of the farmers market, you may not even get a spot in. If it's a very high demand farmers market, you may not get in because certain ones will only allow in so many of the same types of vendors because they want a variety of people. So like there's a massive one, it's called Swiss Days, and it's like kind of a ways away from where we live. It's a ways away. But that one's like a mega market. I mean, they probably attract like 50 to 60,000 people. And that one is like very coveted to get in. Like that's a very hard one to get in. It's very pricey. Like booth rent is very pricey, but you'd also probably make a killing on it. So it kind of just depends on what you're willing to invest. So when it comes to the application process, most of them, from what I have seen, the deadlines are like very shortly after the beginning of the year. So like most of them I've seen like February, March, April. Like that's usually like the deadlines, and that's like the cutoff for the whole year, the whole season. So for the one that I'm in now, thankfully, because it's kind of a smaller one, it's more local, I signed up for so many days, and then I'm probably going to add on more days. And I'm thankful enough where I can do that. I think it's just because it's a less in demand market. So I'll be able to do that. But knowing next year, I'm going to want to do, there's a few different markets that I'm going to want to do. So I'll kind of rotate around, and hopefully I won't be working by then. So then I can hit the markets like multiple times a week. Because I think that's where you gain a lot of traction, like in the community. Okay, and then for the canopy that I got, don't get it off of Amazon, okay? Let me just save you some time. The ones at Walmart are way cheaper, and I saw this after the fact, okay? The cheapest one that I could get off Amazon, I think it was like $80. I saw some over at Walmart for like 50 to 60 bucks. So a little bit cheaper, but obviously when it comes to a business, anything counts. So some people know that I did bring like a picnic table and then some like coloring book pages and stuff for the kids. Now there were kids who did it. There were kids who used it and like colored stuff. And it was a great way for me to kind of like draw parents into the tent. Ultimately, I just don't think we're gonna waste the time with bringing it. I don't think it was really worth it, but I will hand out some coloring pages to the kids because that's what I did like the last half. And there were some kids who really liked that, so that was cute. So when it comes to the table placement in your tent, I think this is very, very important. Because what I noticed was, so I initially set up, so like, I'm trying to decide how to show this. So initially, so this is like from a bird's eye view, we set it up like where we were like angled. So if this is like the front of the tent, we were kind of set up angled like this. And then we had the like little picnic table with the coloring book pages here. And what I realized was, it was almost like people felt like there's too much commitment to like walk into the tent. And a lot of people kind of hesitated. And so after we took the picnic table off, I ended up moving the table right up to the very, very front of the tent. So it was like just as they were walking by the front, they'd be able to see like all my products there. And then I could easily kind of chat with them, and it wasn't too awkward because I was standing right behind the table. So I would say if you can set it up that way, I definitely would, because it takes off a little bit of pressure from whoever's walking around. So like whoever your customers are. And then that way you can like chit chat with them, you can sell your product, you can talk about it, you can, kind of introduce yourself, whatever it is. So I would definitely recommend doing that. I feel like it definitely helped a lot towards like the last half. So that's something I'm going to do next time. So that's everything that I learned for my first go around with the farmer's market. If you have been to farmer's markets and you have any suggestions, leave them down below. Or if you have questions about anything, leave them down below. I'd be more than happy to answer anything. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'd love to have you around. I am just kind of giving you guys the behind the scenes on all things children's books and small business and everything under that umbrella. So, and if you haven't already hit the like button, please do. It appeases the algorithm gods, makes them happy. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.